coffee, as per. Oh, I've drawn a bit of a sketch, just as a guideline. Right, let's just whack this in. This is only cartridge paper, so I'm trying to be gentle. I keep splodging it all in like it's proper watercolour paper, and I think I need to be more gentle with it. Right, I'm gonna, whatever I do up here, there's some bristles falling out of my brush there. If you've got bristles falling out your brush, don't worry about it, because you can just flick it off when it dries. It don't matter. Don't know why there's loads of bristles in like that. Don't know. Right, so that's that. I'm going to try and go gentle with this paper. Yeah, what I was saying is I've been going a bit rough with it. I'm popping it. I want cerulean blue on this side, but just where it meets this purple, the yellow, I want to stick a bit of purple in, just cause. And then I'm going to go all purple on this side, just cause when I put my cerulean blue in, I don't want it to go green. So that's why I've done that. This, I think I'm going to have this. Oh, look at that. That purple and yellow makes a nice colour when it mixes. Look at that. Lovely. Right down there. Oh, that's turning a nice sort of brown colour. I think I'll leave that at that. Right. I think I'll wash my brush and then have a nice pure cerulean blue colour up in that top bit. I hope I haven't got too much water on my brush. Let's dab my brush on my tea towel. Always have a tea towel handy. Oh, I'll tell you what I've done. I forgot to put that purple in at the bottom. Wow, Wally. There. So I'll sort it now. Don't worry, man. There, that'll do. And then I'll come into this bottom with my blue. I don't suppose it matters if it was a bit green in water. It's not going to be green in the water. Not matter, because it could just be a bit of algae in water, you see. So I'm not going to worry about that. There we are, and this is to reflect that purple from the other side. That's actually gone a bit blue at the bottom. Although I didn't wash my brush when I dipped into this purple, so that is probably why. Let's pop a bit more in. Look. There, that's nice. I'm happy with that. Now, let me try and mix. Is that paper still wet enough? Maybe just if I'm really quick. Try and mix a purpley blue colour. Let's see if I can just get some like purpley blue. More blue. See if I can just get some. I don't know if my paper's wet enough. Let's try it a tiny bit. Is that diffusing? Not much, is it? I just fancy some little clouds coming across here. It's wetter on this side. That's not bad. There, just some little clouds coming in. About like that. That'll do. And then a bit of summit this side and all. Hopefully it's wet enough. There we are. That's not bad, is it? And then I think if I clean this brush quick, really quick, maybe I can just soften that bit there's. Not softening a bit, I think. Maybe some of this. Maybe soften a few bits anyway. Look, that's not bad, is it? Same on this bottom bit here. Just soften it slightly. Oh, wow, there. Just a couple of clouds cutting into things. Hopefully that's worked okay. There. Struggle just. Tell you what I can do. Do a little dab on bottom of there. Soften a bit there. That'll do. That looks alright to me. Right, now I need some background hills now. This can stay fairly soft for this, I think. I'm not even going to wash my brush. Use that same muck on my brush. Bit of blue, bit of yellow, and a bit of red to give me a nice green colour. And I left that muck on my brush as well to muck it. If you swished your brush, I'll just put a bit of burnt umber in to muck it. I'm sort of mucking it by not swishing my brush. Right, let's go there. We'll come up there. This here, what I'm doing now, I'm saying we'll come up there, we'll go down there. Do what you want. Just want some hills in the background. You ain't got to. They ain't got to look exactly the same as my hills. Don't matter. It don't really matter. Yeah, I'll bring that to base. In fact, I don't have to come right down to the base. So I'm going to have another layer in there in a minute. So there's no point prattling about trying to get dead close. Right, now, I need a darker green now. What I'm going to do now, you know what, I'm going to muck it with some purple. See what that looks like. So I've got yellow and blue for a green, then muck it with some purple, and hopefully it's going to work. So all I want is a few little things in here like this, just a few little jobbos just to represent some farmers' fields, but I don't want it too strong. So hopefully I've not gone too strong. Try and keep them quite vertical. You know, I think that's enough. Try and keep them quite vertical. It'll look better. Right, let's get that same colour without washing my brush still. I've added some yellow to it. And I'm going to add some light red to it because I want this to be more of a creamy green. So if you play around with your green until it looks similar to mine, or you ain't got to do this. You can use a different colour green to mine if you want. It's up to you. This is just another layer what's a bit closer up. So I'm just going to come into there because I'm going to take this layer right to the floor. And if you get a few little gaps in there, like I have, see them little gaps there and there, they quite often look nice. Just a little tip for you. So you can leave a few of them in. They will look nice. Right, that's that. I've got that little splodge there that I don't think that's going to matter. I'll use that. I'll put a little bush above it and have a little reflection. Right, you know what? I think it's time for a nice equal dry and a sip of coffee. I'll dry with one hand, sip my coffee with the other. Good blast there. That'll do. See what I mean with these bits here, look? They just flick off once it's dried. You know, if you'd have been piggling about trying to get them off while it were wet, you'd have had a nightmare. I don't know where they've all come from. They must have been in my palette. But anyway, there's one there. Go away. Go away. There. See? Yeah, I think I'm going to put some little bushes in there. See, that looks like a little bush there where it's bled up. Some of these things happen naturally. That's the bestish thing about watercolour. I'm going to have something there, like that little bush there. That's my reflection there. Something there. Say a couple more in, just a couple of little bushes and I don't know. Let's have some little hedgerows and things in there popping about. Some little bushes and stuff. Right, another one there. I'll bring that in there. Let's just put quite a bit of water on my brush now. And I'm just going to bring down a tiny bit of a reflection in there off this stuff. There we are. A bit of something there. That'll do. Then I think I can wash my brush all together and probably even just pull that really soft like that, take it right out. There, that looks alright I think. Right, actually I might need to dry that little bit there because I'm coming in with some thicker stuff on here now. That'll do. Some of this, in fact probably most of it's looking a bit strong, so I'm getting it a little dark. And if it's still too strong, get a bit wetter. Just think some of this is still a bit too strong. Just get a bit wetter, soften it up like that. Gently give it a little dab like that. There we are. Look at that, soften it right down there. And you can go on and on and on, make it soft as you want if you've got all day. But as you know on here, we haven't actually got all day. Soften that underneath bit, look, that looks nice. Soften that underneath bit in. There. But as you know, we haven't got all day. Because you haven't got all day. I can sit painting all day. Well, I can't. Stuff to do. But I'd love to. I'll have to pin that back really into. Let me do that. Pin that back. Yeah, just put my clip back on. Here. Right, so let's come in here now then. We'll have a bit of bright yellow, I'm thinking. Might even leave some of them little white gaps. Right, let's fill that in now with some nice green. I've mixed, like I say, blue and yellow for green, and I've mixed some light red in to dull it, because I find it can get just blue and yellow on its own gets a little bit bright. So let's bring that into there like that, down into here, down here, into there like that. Look, lovely. Leaving some little gaps where it lights it in it, look. See them little white gaps? Right, let's get some Bontumber on its own and just pop in a bit of mud. Bit of mud where this bottom, where your grasses and stuff, it's your water. What happens when sandy, it's water. Turns into mud, doesn't it? So, stick a bit of mud in it, and it might, I don't know, let's say, been raining, might be a bit of mud up there, where it's been raining and that. In it! Right, I want some reflections in there. I'm going to get that dry and all though for now, just for now. I'm going gentle so I don't move all that paint around. Then when it's fixed it's 10. Full ball! Full ball, Daddy! Full ball. Job's a good one. Right, I've dried that because I'm going to put some little bushes in here. And I don't want my brushes to just run out into there, and I want my brushes to be thicker paint, so if I go into a thin paint it's just going to dilute into water, so I dry it first. Right, so that green I've already got mixed. I'll just pop a little bit more of Bontumber into it. It's giving me a right nice dark green. And I think, you know what, I'm going to go in with a light green as well. So I think I'll do a bit of both. I'll lay a bit of light green up at this top bit. Just a couple of bushes in here, that's all I'm doing. I'll lay a bit of light green in there for that one. And another little in about there. Right, now let's get this darker green. So, slight darker green mix. Which you just add more blue to your yellow for a darker green, and then to dull it, to take the bluishness out of it and make it actually look green, I just usually add a bit of a Bontumber, or if there's some mud knocking around in your palette, that's quite often just blob a bit of mud in it. There, that's it, that's looking pretty good. And then if you really want to, you could get a bit of Bontumber and some blue and mix like a black colour. Get some Bontumber and Payne's Grey, mix a really dark colour, whatever, and just do that in there. There, nice. And then, do I need any shadows off of that? Let's have a look. Let's swirl that colour out now. Just thinking whether to just pop a few little shadows under that. Maybe there's a few. Which way is my... Well, my light's coming in there, isn't it? So I think it's going that way and that way. So let's just take a few shadows out that way, like that, look. There. So that's what I think's happening. I think my light's coming in there, so it's coming over that way, it's coming straight that way, it's coming out that way. So these are that way. Right. Tell you what I'm going to do now. Wetten this here, all this bottom bit here. I'm going to wetten. I'll just pull it down. Some more hairs coming off my brush there, look, but I'm not going to worry about that. And then let's get some of this Bontumber colour again and just pop that in there like that, look. Look how I'm using this chisel edge, and look at the state. I've shown you this before, that chisel edge, but it's still working. A lot of people keep buying new arcade brushes. Don't need to do that. Just crack on without any berate. I don't need to buy a new brush. Don't worry about that. Just crack on, just keep you. Well, mine anyway. I don't know. Do what you want, but mine seems to just keep using all right. Right, I'm going to lighten that up now, and just have some lighter little reflections in there as well for top of the thill. There, that'll do something like that. That's probably dripping a bit far. You know what? I'm going to just sort of tip it that way a minute and dry it like that so it don't drip too far. I'm going to dry it quick before it gets carried away. Right. There's a little drip down here. I've got that drip. So it'll just dry quicker. You know what I meant to do? Stick that back. I meant to scratch out some little scratches with my fingernail in there. Forgot. But what I could do instead is pop in some little dark twigs instead. Both looks good. There we are, a couple of dark twigs in there instead. There you can just see them. That'll do. Where else are you? I'll tell you what, while I've got that dark colour on my brush, let's pop in right up here. Peter and Paul, they've got to feed the families, so they're out looking for worms to take back to the nest to feed the little baby birds and that. Peter and Paul, because Peter's got to feed his girlfriend Gladys and Paul's got to feed his girlfriend Hilda. See, I just making stuff up. Makes it more enjoyable, doesn't it? Right. I'll tell you, I haven't mentioned for ages when I've been painting. I can tell you a little story about what the idiot's gone and done. Stepbrother Doofus, he's been licking the cake mix off the electric cake mixer, right? I'm going to dry that. And he's turned it on by mistake while he's done it. Knocked his 2 front teeth out. Told you we were a brat. That's close, and I want it to layer up with thick paints, so that's why I've done that. Let's have another colour in there now. I'll have a medium colour. That's why I've done the drying process, you see. That's the medium colour. You know what? I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to dry that. Now Now for my darks, I could go straight into a Payne's grey and brown and get a lovely dark there. But I think to make it matching with this sky, I'm going to dip that green into cerulean blue first and get a greeny cerulean blue colour. This will create a nice dark effect. It'll just sit better because that's cerulean blue from there. And then I'm going to dip that into purple without washing it. I'm putting a lot of purple on. Get some purple in there and all. Look. Now I think that'll just help that sit and let rest on it. And then let's stick a bit of Payne's grey in and some Bont Umber as well, and just have a couple of really dark bits. It's not right, will it? Just there, and that'll just make it sit well with the rest of that. And that is that. All I need is a B and a D. So let's pop my button a D about there. About just so. Don't go too far out because you don't want your mount covering it. I ought to pop it in here really, didn't I? See if it'll fit there. B. No, that's too wet. It's too wet, man. I'll have to do it over here after all. B. D. Bertie D. And hope my mount don't cover it. Right. That's that. One more thing. I think what this needs is a couple of waterlines. So let's stick a couple of them in. I definitely want one through that reflection there. That'll help. If they don't cut in out, then we might have to put a bit of designer's white gouache in there. But I've left most on it, look, and it is cutting out, look. And then let's have one from this side here, look, just cutting into there, like that. In fact, let's go all the way through it, like that, to about there. There. That looks nice, doesn't it? And then if I want to pull that out a bit more, I just dab it on that bit. There, that's quite far away. So now let's say take this one here. Let's say take this one here, because I've already got a waterline cut in, look what I've already left. So let's take that one there to about there, and then let's have one here, just cutting all the way through, like that. That looks nice, doesn't it? A bit of one here and all, look. Bit of something there. There. That just helps show that that's water. This bit here where it's cutting through, get a bit of a dab just to bring it out a bit more on that bit there. There. That's that. That's it. So there you are. Have a little go at that. That's a nice little painting. It's took me 20 minutes. Have a little go at that. See how you get on. In it. I'll see you on the beach. In it.